Sheikh Shahjahan is a TMC leader and considered one of the close aides of the West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee. He was accused of sexual harassment, sexual abuse, human trafficking, assault, and really very various barbaric atrocities. There have been allegations that he is not even Indian citizen and he's actually a Bangladeshi citizen.
To doing all these things, to extortion, to severe criminal activities within that area, to forceful land grabbing, to sexual assaults, to human trafficking, to organ trade, and he is the master of all trades. You can now imagine how the illegal infiltrators get into Sandeshkhali by using this route. He's throwing an open challenge to the people in Sandeshkhali that I am a Bangladeshi and I need girls. I need girls, I will do whatever I want to do in this area. I am the Dada of this area.
We have all heard about Sheikh Shahjahan. Earlier this year, the ED team was subjected to mob violence when they had gone to Sandeshkhali to while probing the ration scam, right? Soon after, the women of Sandeshkhali came up and they leveled serious allegations against him. Sheikh Shahjahan is a TMC leader and considered one of the close aides of the West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee. He was accused of sexual harassment, sexual abuse, human trafficking, assault, and really very various barbaric atrocities. However, while he was arrested and he's currently in the central agency's custody, there have been allegations that he is not even Indian citizen and he's actually a Bangladeshi citizen. We are here. I'm Nirwa Mehta and
I'm Sreoshi Sinha.
We are here to discuss Sheikh Shahjahan and his Bangladeshi connections. Sreoshi, tell us about what you know about Sheikh Shahjahan and his Bangladeshi connections.
So, as you have pointed out, ma'am, we can start off with who is Sheikh Shahjahan and what exactly went wrong with the ED when their team went to probe the famous or infamous ration scam in relation to the PMLM, Prevention of Money Laundering Act. When they were on their way on 5th of January to Sandeshkhali, they were suddenly attacked by a group of 1,000 rural strongmen. These people were armed and they were the street side mafia kind of people who not only pelted stones, they harassed them, abused them in different, in a very poor language, and they literally didn't let them go into the house of Sheikh Shahjahan. Now, why were they going to Sheikh Shahjahan's house and what was exactly the entire plot would be something I would like to delve in. So, Sheikh Shahjahan, if we want to profile this character, then there are 7 characteristics that I might, try to delve into. First, he's a village strongman, that is one. Secondly, as the TMC profiles him, he's a social worker. That the TMC knows better what kind of social worker he is. Thirdly, he is also termed as a Betaj Badshah, the crownless prince or the crownless king of not Bollywood but Sandeshkhali. And fourthly, he is also referred to, by some of the villages as a bhai or a masiha because they feel he is their patronizer or he is their savior. God knows in what kind of situation. He is the man who shoots with both hands. That is one point. He's a very good shooter also. That is what I have heard. And fifthly, he's the last word. He's the last word of Sandeshkhali. Starting from the tractor business or the tractors that are there in Sandeshkhali to the transport business or the transports that runs between Shorberia and Sandeshkhali area, to giving shelters to the illegal infiltrators who are coming to Sandeshkhali using the Raimangal River or the Vidyadhari River, to issuing them false identity cards, the identity cards are issued with Hindu names, as many other people have also pointed out, to doing all these things, to extortion, to severe criminal activities within that area, to forceful land grabbing, to sexual assaults, to human trafficking, to organ trade, and he is the master of all trades. So he is the last word when it comes to all the trades that goes on, all the illegal trades that go on in the Sandeshkhali area. Now, if we talk about his Bangladeshi connection, first let me tell you what is the demography like. So, Sandeshkhali is in Sundarbans, as we have known, and the Khulna district of Bangladesh, is very close to Sandeshkhali. So, the part of Khulna which lies in Bangladesh and the part of Khulna that lies in West Bengal is actually divided by the Ratcliffe line. And this area falls within the Darsha and the Kalindi river, right? And from Khulna to Sandeshkhali, the distance is, if you guess, it is only 300 meters.
Oh.
So you can now imagine how the illegal infiltrators get into Sandeshkhali by using this route. And also there were rumors, probably that is left to further investigation. This person eloped away to Bangladesh. So a few days back we were hearing this news that Sheikh Shahjahan had eloped to Bangladesh, and it was not very difficult for him to do that. He could have done that very easily. His house is in Agrani Kunj Para of Sandeshkhali, and just beside his house there is a very dense forest, and that dense forest leads to Khulna. So if he starts running from the dense forest and the kind of aid and the resource he has, he can easily reach Khulna in a jiffy. So the fact that he might have been in Bangladesh is not incorrect. And if we talk about what kind of relationship he had with the people in Bangladesh, or what kind of relationship he had in Bangladesh, firstly, the first evidence that we have is that there are immense number of complaints by the people, not only the women of Sandeshkhali, by the common men in Sandeshkhali, who comes and says to the DG that this man shouts standing in the middle of the market under broad daylight that I am not an Indian. I will not think about India's welfare or West Bengal's welfare. I am a Bangladeshi. Kar babar ki shaddo ache ki korbe kore nao. So he's throwing an open challenge to the people in Sandeshkhali that I am a Bangladeshi and I need girls. I will do whatever I want to do in this area. I am the Dada of this area. So this perfect Dadagiri conversation that he gives out to the people, or the way he threatens the people in Sandeshkhali, starts with the very line that I am a Bangladeshi, bhai ki korbe kore nao. So this is the entire scenario of Sandeshkhali. He himself has revealed n number of times that he is from Bangladesh and that he is not from West Bengal. That is one evidence.
He's born and brought up in Bangladesh, right?
Absolutely, ma'am. He has been born and brought up in Bangladesh. His school leaving certificate is from a school in Bangladesh. He has done active students' life politics when he was a college student with the BNP, the Bangladesh Nationalist Party. And he was not just a member of the BNP. He was leading the BNP as a student. And you know that BNP is one such party in Bangladesh who was banned during this election. Not only that, it is very much known for its anti-India stand and pro-Pakistan or pro-ISI stand. And also many people, in my recent visit to Bangladesh, I have come across many BNP people who are nurturing this dream of, merging West Bengal with Bangladesh and making it a greater Bangladesh. And also, most interestingly, BNP is the only party who has very intricate links with people or Islamic elements, so of the Jamaat-e-Islami. So it is quite evident that he is not only anti-India, he is also anti-West Bengal. The CM should take this note. He is anti-West Bengal too. So we really do not know why the TMC looks at him as a social worker. Why is he such an eminent person or such a prominent figure in the TMC? And why does Baluda, Jyotipriya Mullik, favor him so much? We really don't have any clue. Why is the TMC in spite of knowing all his illicit activities, that he is from Bangladesh. He is openly saying that the Hindi media channels or the English dailies perhaps would not know it, or perhaps would not have been knowing it, because he gives out all these threats in Bengali. But the CM understands Bengali. The people who are close to the CM or the TMC Supremo or people of the TMC, they understand Bengali. How come after lodging so many complaints, they are turning a deaf ear to this entire scenario?
The local media would also know about it. Right?
Absolutely. There are innumerable sources which says that he's a Bangladeshi.
If he's saying that he's a Bangladeshi citizen, or he's a Bangladeshi rather, not a citizen but Bangladeshi, how did he manage to become a said legitimate citizen of India? I hope that agencies probe more details on it, but there are also allegations of his involvement in giving fake IDs, fake Aadhaar cards, and settling the illegal Rohingyas and Bangladeshis in India by providing them fake IDs. What do you have to say a little bit on that?
So he is not a legitimate citizen of India.
He's not.
He is not. That is on records. He is not. Secondly, even I have not personally seen his Indian IDs. Even if he has one, that's a fake ID. Okay. Right. And thirdly, you might remember this. There are two very close associates of Sheikh Shahjahan who had been caught in very severe charges of gang rape and sexual assault on the women of West Bengal. One was Uttam Sardar and the other one was Shibu Prasad Hazra. So everybody, all the people know that these two are not Uttam and Shibu. Uttam Sardar is actually Sheikh Shurabuddin and Shibu Prasad Hazra is actually Noor Alam. Everybody knows that. And I heard few of the interviews in some local Bengali channel where the victims are covering their face and they are coming and saying that we don't know when did Noor become Shibu. We don't know the transition period. When did exactly he become Shibu? They knew that they were Bengali. I mean, they were not Hindus. They were Muslims from Bangladesh, and they were issued false identity cards. So in that case, and this is not just an isolated case, this is just not one isolated case. There have been innumerable, illegal infiltration in the last 20 years since Sheikh Shahjahan's reign, and previously his mama, his maternal uncle, Muslim Sheikh's reign. So in this 20 years, many illegal infiltration has happened through that era. Why do you think Mamata Banerjee is protesting against CA and making that caca sound? Because she's afraid. She's afraid of losing her seat. She's afraid of losing her seat because she thinks that the Muslims will not vote for him. And the infiltration that happens, after the infiltration has happened, few people have come here. What are they used in? How are they used or utilized by the administration over here? The people who are physically very strong, the infiltrators who are physically very strong, they are used to perpetrate violence in votes during the voting times, in the voting booths, and to scare people, to ask them not to come out of their house when the elections are going on. Their votes will be casted, and if they are very adamant, then they are used to kill. I mean, these people are used to kill such people or to just vanish them from their area. So these are the uses of such infiltration. So it is quite evident and quite justifiable that the leaders will be very scared to lose such assets from their parties, and thus they are still wanting to protect them. It is quite evident.
Right. So it's a no-brainer that for national security, this kind of illegal infiltration should be checked on, and that needs to be stopped. But why do you think is it important to talk about the fact that Sheikh Shahjahan is Bangladeshi? This I'm asking because this in context of the CAA, right? If we are saying that the persecuted minorities or the persecuted people from these countries, the three neighboring countries, can get Indian citizenship, and also the Muslims from those countries can take the citizenship eventually under the different laws of the country. Once they do that, they become Indian citizens, right? Like there are so many Pakistanis have taken Indian citizenship, and they're like that. But for Sheikh Shahjahan, why is it important to talk about him being a Bangladeshi and that he very likely is not a legitimate Indian citizen at this point in time?
I'll just number them one by one according to the increasing level of importance to the points. So firstly, he's a Muslim. I'm not generic. I'm not giving a generic statement. He's a Muslim and he is also an awful criminal.
Right.
Right. So being a Muslim, being an awful criminal, and being someone who is openly stating the fact that I am from Bangladesh ki korbi korene,
and Jamaat
and his links with the Jamaati Islami and
right.
active links with the banned BNP itself is one point why he is one of the very immense national security threats right now. One. Secondly, I would like to mention one previous incident that happened in Bengal and that led to the birth of Pakistan, is that we might remember that in 1946, when the Muslim League gave a call for the Direct Action Day in 1946 August, and the person who gave out that call was Sheikh Hussain Surawardi, and he gave out a call for the Direct Action Day, and he was accompanied in that call by 3 other communist leaders, and one was Jyoti Basu. Okay, one was Jyoti Basu, 3 communist leader, Ratanlal Brahma, Jyoti Basu, and one more from Darjeeling. 3 of them were on the same munch or the stage from where this call was given out. And you might remember when the Direct Action Day call was given out, it resulted in the Great Calcutta Killings, which killed around 56,000 Hindus from Calcutta and which eventually led to the formation of a separate Muslim Pakistan. That was one thing. And also we might remember Gopal Patha, who had, did a lot of things to save the Hindus during that time. So don't you think this entire incident or whatever scenario or whatever phase Bengal is undergoing right now is very similar to that what had happened in 1946 during the Great Calcutta Killings or the Calcutta Massacre as we know of it. So it is very similar to that incident. If we do not do the damage control right now, it might lead to an even more severe kind of situation. Because not only people like Sheikh Shahjahan or Sheikh Surawardi, there are few other Hindu secular groups such as the Bangla Pokho, Gorgo Chatterjee is leading it. There are few other Hindu secular groups who are trying to divide Bengal on the lines of Bengali language, on the linguistic lines. And if this turns out to be the way I am saying it to be, then it would be even more difficult for us to control the situation, even more difficult from Kashmir. The conflict, if it gets severe, once the Bengali community gets severe, then the damage control would not be an easy process to be in. So it is very, very important, and also given the fact that Bangladesh for entire life would not have Sheikh Hasina as the Prime Minister. If at all BNP comes to power, if at all in some time from now.
It was in power before this.
Before this also, right?
Correct.
And you know the political scenario of Bangladesh. We do not have always, New Delhi will always not have a fair chance to be friends with Bangladesh. If at all some anti-India element comes to power in Bangladesh, and we might also remember that other regional powers such as China is supporting Sheikh Hasina on one hand, and through the back door it is supporting the BNP, because it is thinking that if the ISI comes in power, we will not be left alone. If BNP comes in power, then ISI will be influencing it. Absolutely.
Correct. And having hostile 3 neighboring countries, 4 or 5 neighboring countries is always going to be a threat for India.
Absolutely.
You will be constantly fighting your neighbors,
Absolutely.
which are hostile neighbors, instead of actually working on your progress.
Absolutely. So if we have hostile neighbors, we will always have difficult situation at home. We cannot bring a peaceful regional, peaceful region, or we cannot promote Sagar as Prime Minister Narendra Modi has propagated security and growth for all in the region. So that would be a very difficult situation. And if such an element comes to power in Bangladesh, these kind of elements in Bengal who are trying to, march, I am not directly saying that, but these are all introspections, these are all speculations, because we are very aware of the fact that back in 2001, few elements from the BNP were caught who were trying to provoke anti-India sentiment in and through Assam. So there are evidence where if BNP is in power or BNP is linked with such elements in Bengal, then we can lose out on West Bengal at any given time. So it is very important for us to not only redirect our attention to the security scenario in West Bengal, but it is also important for us to make Bangladesh understand that they cannot get away with this. If they need our support, their government needs to cooperate with us on the security levels. There should be proper and very transparent intelligence sharing. The two governments should sit together and find out ways to stop this illegal infiltrators from coming to India. And also there were news, as you know, there has been rampant animal smuggling through the West Bengal Bangladesh border. That should also stop. So there are many security issues that Bangladesh needs to look at. They just cannot keep on expecting from New Delhi without giving us anything in return. They should also cooperate with us to maintain our own security canvas within the country. So it is very important for us to look at this. And thirdly, in West Bengal, we do not have one power who has a Rashtravadi Vichardhara. We do not have one power in Bengal who does that. As I have told you about the communist, I do not know, many people might not be aware, there was this Adhikari thesis which had come out back in 1942, where the communists said, and it was written by some G. Adhikari from Maharashtra. He was a very potential communist during that time. And they had talked about how they do not recognize the union of India as one power or one identity. So they had recognized 18 different identities within one India. So a party or an ideology who promotes 18 different broken parts of India, how can we trust them? Even if they are the most important opponent in West Bengal, with no votes of course, yet they are not trustworthy. You see TMC, the entire TMC is giving tickets to people who are not even worth it. So they are absolutely anti-India. Not only that, they are absolutely anti-Bengali too. That is why they are inviting these people. I do not know what sense that does Mamata Banerjee's Vishwa Bangla make when such elements who with anti-Bengal sentiment are coming to West Bengal and fighting the elections. I do not know what sense does Vishwa Bangla make. So it is very important for us to take up the case of Bengal very seriously and with very iron fist. Otherwise, we will lose out on Bengal. The situation is even more degrading than Bihar was few years back. It is even more degrading than what Kashmir was. And if it gets out of hand, if Bengal gets out of hand, then no one can save the formation of another Bangladesh or a greater Bangladesh. So.
Right. No, on that note, I really hope that the Home Ministry takes this really seriously, which I'm sure they are doing, and which is why the steps such as CAA, Amit Shah very recently said that how the state governments need to cooperate with the center in order to figure out the number of illegal infiltrators, which they have not been able to do it with West Bengal. In Assam, they have managed to control it significantly, but in West Bengal, things are still very difficult. But hopefully with time, I think when it comes to Sheikh Shahjahan, this will probably act as a wake-up call for Mamata Banerjee. One hopes that sanity prevails, and this acts as a wake-up call, and she finally puts India before her own political gains, and the justice shall prevail, hopefully, and we'll get to the bottom of it. And thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.